Aren't you guys proud of me? I didn't use Shadow Knight Pillis once today, but you're probably never going to get me to ever ban Roana on my own. That's just straight up not going to happen. So, for starters, this, for those of you uninitiated, this is going to be a Lone Crescent Bellona playthrough today. We're going to go in and see if we can showcase this unit, see if we can make her kind of work. I didn't have a lot of gear that was on hand that was ready to go, but the one thing I did have on hand was pretty much kind of a mid-injury set. And if you want to know anything in particular about ML Bellona, the biggest things to know about her are she is a Banshee girl. She functions very, very well off of either counter, lifesteal, or off of the Katie's injury set. Now, the reasons for that are she has, like, mechanics that are in her kit where she will do actions based on, like, right here, she's going to counter because her fighting spirit's going to be full. And she gets Fighting Spirit every time an ally is hit, as well as her doing her attack. So this is where it kind of like kicks in, and where you can use her for an injury set. So you have her kind of like Belian, except I would argue Belian's a little bit better in that perspective. Because with Belian, one, you're playing a RNG game with her. You don't know if she's going to be on Belian or anything like... Or, sorry, you don't know if she's going to be on counter or anything like that. So... The other reason why I think Belian's just a better option is, one, she can attack, and then she can also just, like, do a follow-up attack, so then that's 2 attacks, and, like, hey, injury adds up. It's really, really annoying. Even though they did nerf it for AoE attacks, which I am so, so thankful that they did, but hey, whatever. What we're here to talk about is basically ML Bellona, and we've kind of been taken out of at least 2 of her turns so far. Like, she keeps getting stripped, keeps getting provoked, and all that other jazz. So here's where I first tried the S3. I could have either killed Belian, or I could try to do some big injury damage and do some big damage to the Ravi. So that's at 5 stacks, and this isn't even a very, very impressive ML Bellona. Like, you could do much, much better. This is relatable gear. It really is. There's, like, 50 or so dead stats that are just on this set. So if you can manage to get yourself a pretty decent injury set, you can do as much, if not way more damage than I'm doing, and also have far more bulk. So with that being said, hey, we're at the very beginning of the video. Hey, is ML Bellona good? In all honesty, she's not bad. She's not terrible. The biggest thing that is a weakness for her is that she is lacking survivability. This is where, like, Lifesteal set can come in, and every now and then you're just going to straight up get your passive off where you're going to do that AoE attack, and that's probably going to just completely heal you. That's where Lifesteal set's usually really, really good. But for me personally, I don't actually know which set I'm going to, like, land on. I would like to do Lifesteal set because Lifesteal set is actually my favorite set. And what we're doing right here is we're manipulating the Krau a little bit. So we get a little lucky, and also this Krau is not running ER, so we can stun here, and then we can try to turn cycle around and see if we can get Bellona to get to her turn so that she can kill that Krau before the horse comes out. The other good news, though, is he has some injury on him, and because of that injury, I think we were safe anyway. But that's the end of the first round. Second round, this is some pretty standard stuff that I like to do a lot of times anytime I'm fighting Conqueror Lilias, which is all the fucking time. She's in every goddamn fight. So what I usually do is I pick Sinful Angelica. Sinful Angelica is the natural bait for Conqueror Lilias. She burns both of her turns on her. She will use her S3 to cleanse. Hey, looky there. Zahhak is primed, ready to kill. Because my Zahhak is not a crit Zahhak, my Zahhak is a damage Zahhak. And I have yet to see very many Mercedes that can survive his S3. The only times they ever do are any of the ones that are really, really thick on counter. And I have Rimuru here. I very rarely use Rimuru. I used to only really use him with Angel of Light Angelica teams whenever I'd fight Ran, Summertime Asaria, just for the sake of, like, cleansing my team, stealing immunity, things like that. But here is just a prime example of, against Conqueror Lilias, everybody has Vigor. Sure, he can't steal the Vigor, but that still procs his counter. So you can use that to your advantage if you have a DPS Rimuru, and you can use that to just straight up nuke the ever-loving shit out of a unit, which in this case was Choux. So, round 2. Hey, looky there. We're pretty much essentially doing the exact same thing, except now we don't have Conqueror Lilias here, so Savior Aiden's going to go into Sinji and do basically fucking nothing. Because, hey, spoiler alert, guys, I do lots of damage. You're not surviving. Yep, the only ones that will really survive that with an Arowell protection are really, really the thick ones. So if you're going to utilize a Mercedes, and if you're going to have her on defense, especially if you're going to have like a Savior 8, or no, not a Savior, Unbound Knight Arowell kind of protection, I would highly suggest to be thick as well with your thick tank. Because like anytime you're running like Squish, and I understand why you're running Squish, it's because you want to be able to do big damage and have something that can protect it. Spoiler alert, I essentially do the same thing whenever I bring out ML Bellona in the next fight. But yeah, for defense, I kind of can't really recommend it because I don't know. We're just too damn strong. Like the game has forced us to progress in such a way where we have to have this ludicrous strength just to survive. But yeah, I'm essentially going to do. Well, it's actually not on this fight. It's going to be on the next fight where I'm utilizing Unbound Knight Arowell. Here, I have the positioning set up so that the Momo is going to take all the hits from Senya. She's also there to cleanse, because also I know Lone Crescent Bellona is a really, really good unit to go into Senya, but you have one very, very critical weakness, and Senya just so happens to do it. There it is, right there. See that blind? We didn't miss right there, but when you do miss, you take that extra damage. So if I missed both of those attacks, I'm pretty sure she might have been dead. Because like the reflect damage that Senya gives off is no joke. So if you can hit, or if you have like some form of cleanse, and holy fucking shit. I really wish I knew how close I was to death, but it was very, very close. But yeah, if you have any means of cleansing, and you can use ML Bellona, and there's no other threat on the team that can like one-tap her, and you are very confident in your bulk, yeah, you can utilize ML Bellona very, very effectively, especially against dumb shit like Belian, because Belian's going to hit the whole team, and that's just going to give you free CR push and free damage, which is always good. So right here you're seeing just a little bit of damage here, and none of these fights utilize attack buff of any kind, so some of that is actually kind of impressive. So if you wanted to, you could make a damaged Bellona, and it's very easy to do. She does not require any crit at all. You just have to stack crit damage like a motherfucker and utilize whatever excess stats that you have into bulk. Because you can run speed. You absolutely can. It's just, it feels like it's a wasted stat. Because, yeah, you'll turn cycle a little bit, but you don't need it. Because of, like, if you just see on the CR bar on the left just how much she'll jump up just from taking abuse, and it doesn't even have to be her that's taking abuse, it can just be the party, because that's the way the S2 functions. So, with that said, you don't really need speed. You can do it if you can manage to fit it in there, cool. But the biggest things that you're looking for are attack, crit damage, and depending on your preferences, you could also, like, throw in a little bit of defense in there, and ER if you have the room to do it. That's all you need. Period. So, and like I was saying before, this Bellona that I'm using right now actually does have a couple of dead stats in her. Like, she has crit on her and stuff like that. So yeah, I absolutely firmly believe you can build a much, much better Bellona than I have here, and she's actually doing pretty decent. So here, I attempt to just have a little bit of fun, because I almost never get an opportunity to use Spez, because this game fucking hates me. And hey, looky there, the RNG is actually on my side. So hey, let's just go ahead and knock her out. Holy shit! Okay, so yeah, we didn't kill. The main reason we didn't kill was because, one, that was a Proof of Valor Ravi, and that was an Aureus Raz. So I really didn't think that it would survive that, but she did. And if I were to guess, because you're never going to see it throughout the entire match, I'm going to keep her stun locked the entire time. So I don't actually know what her HP is, but I'm going to guess that it was probably somewhere around 23 or 24k. But yeah, this is the sheer power of control. If you have a really, really strong, really fast, and by strong I mean high effectiveness Solitaria of the Snow, and you have like even a moderately built, like Specimen says, you don't even actually need speed. It's not necessary. It just helps. You will utterly decimate teams, because yeah, what can really survive crazy stuff like that? Yeah, you just saw what did survive it. That's Proof of Valor doing Proof of Valor shit. Fuck Proof of Valor. I hate that artifact. But, yeah, that's basically all this is I'm basically just trying to ride out the clock so I can get my S3 back, which is really the only thing that really sucks about Specimen Says, is he does have a fair amount of turn cycling if your S3 ever fails you, because his S2 does have CR on it, which I make the mistake right here. I thought I had my S3, but I didn't. I thought the 2 was a 1 and all that other jazz on the last run when I was looking at the S2 instead of the S3. You know, typical my brain don't work situations, stuff like that. But, hey, S3's there. Why not going ahead and kill something? Feels good. That's no attack buff, and that's not even impressive stats. Spez is so fucking stupid. And now apparently Euphene's like that, where it's like with silence. Cool. I still don't really care for the character. Probably not going to build her, don't really care. Sorry, yeah, Euphene's just not my character. I just don't really like her. I don't like how she was presented, but I mean, some people really do love her. Whatever. Hey, enjoy your waifu. I'll enjoy my husbando. And with that being said, I believe that's the end of this match. Yeah, I mean, she might survive. Oh, fuck. No, she didn't. Oh, well. So anyway, on to the last match with ML Bellona. Now, this is something I highly do not recommend you ever do. Savior Adin is 100% the biggest counter that ML Bellona has. Period. Case in point, that reason right there. So this is a Savior Adin that is not rocking Shepherds of the Hollow, which I still, for whatever reason, do not understand why so many people are running Shepherds of the Hollow instead of Sword of the Cycling Seasons. Because the extra dark damage, that's from Sword of Cycling Seasons. So you'll see just how much damage that this Adin is doing, and it's quite honestly crazy. And because of this, I can't build up any stacks on ML Bellona's S2, because I knew going into this that I was going to at least die once. I was not prepared for the sheer number of times that she dies. That just did 13k through a shield. And I'm dead again. Good thing I used that S3 on Roana. So now, I haven't used Bellona's S3 yet because I really didn't think I could kill whenever she had the barrier up on Mercedes. And the goal is, at this point, kill Mercedes, because that Savior Adin is going to be a massive pain in my ass and going to be killing me non-stop. So the goal is, hey, kill Mercedes and then try to kill her again. And then whenever that's done, then I can just do revive cycling to kill the Savior Adin. That's all it's going to be. Because I may miss a few times or anything like that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The Savior Adin is not going to kill any of my healers. Like, my Ruele and my Roana, sure, they're vulnerable to debuffs, but they are very, very tanky units. Like, you're not going to kill them. And also, spoiler alert as well, something that I didn't even realize, but this Savior Adin isn't even rocking max crit. She's probably super, like, optimized at 85% crit or something like that, specifically to kill darks, which is why she's also using Sword of Cycling Seasons. So that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, basically, and this is right here where I notice it. Shazam, that didn't even crit. So I have no idea how much damage she would have done with that S3 on my Ruele. I'm predicting if she did 32k on ML Bellona, I'm thinking maybe somewhere around 15k, maybe, because she has attack buff throughout the entire fight. And like, there was just a lucky hit, because there I was attempting to try and see, oh, okay, how much damage would ML Bellona take from this? And lo and behold, it was a lot. So I was not prepared for that at all. So, yeah, this was like a learning experience. Do not ever do this if you're fighting Savior Adin. Honestly, just go with any other typical kind of tank team. For example, for this fight in particular, I could have just brought out Tried and True. I could have brought out Shadow Knight Pilis and Roana, and I would have easily won. It just would have taken longer. But honestly, you could probably debate and say, it's probably about the same amount of time, considering, I mean, Mercedes goes down pretty quick, and then the Pillis is going to hit the Savior Adin. Pretty rare that she misses on her S3. And also, just, you know, Rocket Punch just is super, super good against these kind of, like, squishy units. And, hey, petition to SG, can we please get Rocket Punch as, like, a regular artifact? Limited artifacts are fucking gay. Stop. But, whatever. I mean, hell, I'll even pay for it. I don't care. It's just, I don't feel like waiting another year for Rocket Punch. I really don't want to wait that damn long. But either way. So right here, we get another opportunity. So let's go on ahead and see if we can just, like, one-tap this Savior Adin. And we do! So yeah, no miss. And that just straight up annihilates it. And once again, like, that's not bad, considering you're rocking no attack buff, no real, like, offensive support, and I'm rocking injury, so I will eventually win a battle of attrition, especially against things like HP scalers, things like that. And by the way, just so full disclosure, in case anybody's confused, this is an edit, so right there, that was just an edit to save time, because, I mean, hey, what are you guys missing? You're missing... you're missing a 3-on-1, but yeah, that, as they say, is that. So, like I said, you'll see Emma Bellona. She's going to be at the very bottom of the list. It's pretty relatable gear. It's not good. I think a little bit of it is some of the Ancient Inheritance gear. Some of it's like just some random just pieces brought together. Like I said, when I get down to it at the very bottom, you'll see just like how many dead stats are there. There's like a lot of crit and stuff, and there's even like some effectiveness. She doesn't even use those two stats. So, hey, she's really, really easy to build. Absolutely worth it. Just probably don't use her as a main tank, which is kind of difficult considering like what's the current light cancer right now. The light cancer is Savior Adin, and she kind of can't fight that. And, yeah, look at that. Like, there's no defense, just HP. It's kind of bad. But hey, hopefully you guys can make it work. And I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you want any more of this kind of content, please go ahead and hit subscribe. I hope to see you soon. Later.